Romero.
And I'm Chris.
The world we live in is weird, and you're liable to get lost without someone to guide you through it.
Unfortunately, we aren't those people. Join us each episode as we share the strange, bizarre, and downright unnecessary in an attempt to better understand the world around us.
And say whatever we want along the way.
Because this is the Non-Experts Podcast. Ready?
It's time
For wheel
for another bonus episode.
Yes.
Let's knock it out, man. History is
Yeah.
weird. Just
So-
as a what?
Oh,
Yep,
sorry.
Just as a brief reminder, history is weird. We find some things. By we, I mean Chris, because this is his thing. We go back and find something that happened right around the time that the episodes are coming out, or right around the timestamp that we're filming them. And sometimes it's centuries ago. Sometimes maybe you'll find that it's within the last 20 to 30 years or so. So, Chris, what you got for me this time?
So this is from March of 1985. So this is one of the more recent instances, and this is also local too, local to us at least. So this was in St. Louis, but back in 1985, city officials again cannot speak in St. Louis decided that the term bus stop sounded too negative. Think of how far we've come. Back then, I say back then like that was a long time ago, but in 1985, bus stop was too negative, and now like we can't say anything about anybody because it's all like anyway. So they thought bus stop sounded too negative, so they voted to rename them bus starts. 1,800 new bus start signs were duly installed, and a year and a half later, when it became clear that people were confused by what a bus start was, the city conceded defeat and went back to using the traditional term bus stop. This, of course, meant buying even more signs. I did want to read some of the articles. So here's a picture for you to see. This is what the signs looked like when they said bus start. I don't know if people were just stupid in 1985.
Yes.
But, okay, I get what's a bus start? But clearly there's buses lined up out there,
And they're positioned in the same fashion a bus stop sign would be.
Right. So, I mean,
Where's the confusion?
put two and two together and figure it out. You're right. I did want to read the article that was from the year later, and this is from St. Louis Post-Dispatch. It said the Bi-State Development Agency has voted to begin replacing its new bus start signs with the more traditional bus stop version. Officials said too many people were confused about the sign's wording. The bus start signs began appearing in March of 1985 with the installation of 1,800 signs. They also said that the wording was more positive and would attract more riders than the traditional version. I don't see how that would actually work. Anyway. But that didn't turn
wait to ride the bus now.
Right. Oh, it's called the bus start.
Yay.
Right. Leave my car behind. And,
Said no one ever.
It did say that when you have a telephone, you don't just call it a radio, he said Friday. And I think that's what we did with this program. On Friday, what? I read that and I'm like, when you have a telephone, you just don't call it a radio. I don't see how that has anything to do.
Correlation.
Maybe it was dementia. I don't know. You're just coming up with random stuff.
Yeah, I don't really follow.
Anyway, it says on Friday, the Bi-State Board authorized a contract for 14,800 new bus stop signs. So they spent more on getting new signs to replace the old bus start. Anyway. And the signs would be first installed at stops that had no signs, and eventually, okay, that makes sense. So they were not only replacing the old ones, but they're like, okay, if this place doesn't have a sign, we'll put it out there. But
that's a really big jump.
Yeah,
1,800 to 14,800. So there were 13,000 stops that just didn't have
a year of wasted money, and probably taxpayer money, for signs that didn't make sense to begin with.
Yeah.
But also, I don't see how people were confused.
Where do I go?
I see a bus
says
start.
bus
Where's
start.
the stop? Literally, the bus driver's like, "Are you going to get on the bus?" And like, "But this is a start."
I just don't know. Well, where do we get off if the next one is a bus
Right.
start?
Also, I can just tell you right now, the sign was not the reason why I was not getting on the bus.
I just didn't want to get on the bus.
I just didn't want to ride the bus. There are so many.
That might be me soon, though. My newest job is downtown. I don't know that I am going to want to drive.
To drive. It's not fantastic. I can tell you that. But I mean, for about maybe 4 months, I had to take public transportation because I didn't have a car. There's so many weird people on the bus. So many weird people on the bus.
My aunt used to do the Metrolink. She worked downtown for the IRS, and she'd seen some things. Yeah, so. Yeah, exactly. I have 0 words.
Sorry for the pause for those of you listening, but we're just
Yeah,
we're,
they sat there like, "Hello, is this still playing?"
we're super just confounded as to why this was even a thing. So, but also if you're listening, you should be watching. So
Yeah, that's the real takeaway.
that's the real lesson to be learned here.
Well, anyway, that's all, folks. Till next time.